In West Africa, roughly 164 million people are of working age. This equates to around 50% of the population. Everybody has the right to decent work. However, this right is not always respected.
50% of the West African population are persons with disabilities. ILO estimates that 70 to 80% of persons with disabilities are unemployed. And the World Bank estimates that 20% of the poorest people are persons with disabilities.
However, the International UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities was ratified by the majority of West African countries.
The convention needs to become a reality. The articles concerning the employment of persons with disabilities have to become a reality in the field.
So the way in which WANEP and those other organizations can help is to help to reinforce their voices in making sure that they help us join the campaigns, that all our voices can be meted out so that the government can listen and have persons with disabilities tap onto these job opportunities.
To ensure that the convention is implemented, we need to make an effort using the resources available to us. Doing this will allow persons with disabilities to be integrated into the society without great difficulty.
There are people with skills.
Really, we have good examples of persons who have taken 3 loans.
He is a worker who needs to be encouraged. A worker needs to be helped to move forward.
Banjugu was able to become an elite sportsman at the national level, and we are proud of that.
Usainu helps other people too. Many people come to see him so that he solves their problems.
Due to the paid jobs they are filling or the micro-enterprises they are setting up, persons with disabilities are becoming real economic players, and they need to be encouraged and trusted. Ricaria Dennis lives in Monrovia, Liberia. Married, with 4 children, she created the International Association of Persons with Disabilities and is today the president of the National Committee of People with Disabilities.
One of the key things that I do as the executive director of this institution is to ensure that programs are in place, activities are in place to help to improve the lives of the people. I also attend various meetings and functions on behalf of the government of Liberia in relations to persons with disabilities. I work along with my deputies and my staff that are here to also see how best we can press forward to improve the lives of persons with disabilities. So mainly my function is to make sure that I kind of work along with the deputies, the staffs, and other key national stakeholders to ensure that the lives of persons with disabilities are improved.
Even if today we talk about ratified convention and other, the tests are still discriminatory. The proof is that when there is an opening recruitment for a job at the civil service, the requirements on the person's specification are: you must be free of any disease, you must be physically able. This job advert completely excludes people with physical disabilities.
En 2008, le gouvernement avait déjà sorti.
In 2008, the government had already put out a decree that required all ministries to open recruitment for all jobs to persons with disabilities on the list of their permanent civil servants or contract workers. This discriminatory law will fix a minimum quota. It won't be 5% nor 10%. It will be a kind of minimum. If there is more than that amount that succeeds, let them pass. And all this should be done by merit. It's because they work well that they got recruited.
In countries where they really want to promote persons with disabilities, a company that has a staff of 100 people decide maybe to recruit 5 or 10 persons with disabilities will benefit from a fiscal reduction that encourage them to do so. There are measures that support companies, and I think that in our African states we can also do that.
Different types of positive measures can be taken by the government to improve the recruitment of persons with disabilities in the public sector and in the private sector.
By decree, the President created what we call Support Fund for the readaptation and inclusion of people with disabilities. The first axis deals with the strengthening of education of persons with disabilities. The second section deals with ensuring the mobility of persons with disabilities. There is the professional inclusion. There is the support in the higher education and secondary education. But persons with disabilities who have a serious disability, who can do absolutely nothing, are supported by their parents that are often poor. Those parents are supported by income-generating activities.
One of the first requirements to have access to employment is the development of skills. This requires adapted and inclusive trainings open to everyone.
When we look at school in the new school building designs, there are always ramps so that students with disabilities that are to come with tricycle can access the classroom easily. They can come as far as the entrance. We have to assure that the problem of physical accessibility is taken into account for persons with disabilities when building public area. We have to encourage it so that it happens again.
Learning techniques and skills to prepare for a job is also a requirement of potential employers.
Today, therefore, you see, when you help someone, it can bring many things. Yes, there are things that he has not yet learned, but he copes well.
Oseni cannot do a theoretical training, that's for sure, but at least in practice, we can train him in many things.
It's a duty for us. It's a duty for our state. It's a duty for our states. It's a duty for all the states to help persons with disabilities to find employment.
Why are not they employed? Why are not opportunities given to them? Are they not qualified? Don't we have people who can offer their quota to this country? Again, we call on our national government to see reason if we have to ensure that everybody is on board in this process to making our country become a developed one. The persons with disabilities must not be left out.